guys, Al here, welcoming you to Make a Killing Selling Fitness and Martial Arts, where we're going to strive to teach you everything you need to know to go from where you are to where you want to be. Now, after owning my own kickboxing school for nearly a decade, I realized that I was achieving a level of success that a lot of my competitors were not. So I sold my school and I now spend my days traveling the country teaching other studios these strategies and ideas that I've used in my own business to grow it. Now, I've teamed up with Top 10 Canada to bring these ideas directly to you. So I know you're pressed for time, and as a business owner, our time is very valuable. So here's what we're going to cover in today's video. These are the keys to success in this industry. Number one, we've got lead generation. It doesn't matter how good your products are, it doesn't matter how good your programs are, if you've got nobody calling, nobody coming in through the doors, you're going to be hurting. So we're going to teach you how to get clients into the doors and almost automate it so that you always have a steady stream of clients filling your funnel. Number two, we've got lead conversion. Some of you guys out there, you have plenty of people coming in. You have a lot of traffic on your website, your phone is ringing, but you're having a hard time collect the cash. You're having a hard time convert those prospects into paying clients. We're going to show you how we do it. Number three, we've got what I call the sales times or the sales multiplier. One of the big things is you do not want to have a client that comes in one time, pays that first membership, and never comes back. Okay, so we're going to teach you how not only to get them to keep coming, but how to get them to spend more money in that period that they're with you. Okay, so a lot of you guys are selling, let's just say, one membership, and that's all you're getting out of them. We're going to teach you how to get more money out of each client. And of course, number four, we've got retention. Now, I do believe that new blood is the lifeblood of any business, but I also believe that you've got to keep the clients with you as long as possible. So let's jump right into it. Okay, so starting off with lead generation. Now, you got to remember that people aren't just going to know you're there. You have to go out there and spread the word. Tell people about your program. I run into clubs every day that think that once they're established, once they've been there a certain amount of time, a certain amount of years, I should say, that people are just going to flock to them. That isn't so. Every day in my own city, I run into businesses that it's like, oh, you guys, how long have you been here? You guys must be new. And they, oh, no, we've been here 10 years. And yet I never knew about them. So it doesn't matter how long you've been there. You got to keep pushing every day. You got to spread the word that you're existent. I had a goal for myself. I had it written on my desk when I owned my studio. I had to put 5 marketing acts every day. Okay, and that was a personal goal. You can do whatever you want, but I recommend you do something every day that gets your name out there. Remember that lead generation is what brings in the cash. It's very easy as entrepreneurs to get caught up into other things. You know, you do one quick phone call and you get rejected, and man, you find something else to do. But you've got to stay out there and you got to keep pushing. So here's a quick, couple ideas to get you going. You might want to grab a pen and paper, take a few notes, but we will be going into more detail in a later video. So starting off with lead generation, we got monthly events. Now, we're not talking about in-house events, although those are good. We're talking about outside events. So your community has all kinds of events all the time. Like not-for-profit groups are always hosting events. Participate in these events, spread your name. Even if you're not openly pushing your product, if you're simply wearing a uniform or a shirt from your work, or if you put in a team and you've got team family kickboxing, and everybody sees your shirt, that's marketing. That's lead generation. NFP, that's not for profit. Now, we're not talking about these types of events. We're talking about hosting your own event, and I'm going to explain more about the not-for-profit loophole. But just to touch on it real quick, did you know that by hosting your own third-party event, you can get all kinds of free marketing like booth space in local shopping centers, access to universities and colleges that would not ordinarily let you in, free posters, all kinds of stuff. We've actually got a whole video just on the not-for-profit. Festivals. If you can't afford, if your budget doesn't allow you to be at the festival in terms of having a booth, I highly recommend you still participate in the festival. Whether you get, a dozen of your clients, your family, to all wear the shirts, be there. If you may have to pay the admission fee, but if you spend the whole day at the festival just passing out your card, getting to know people, if you've got an eye catcher, for example, I owned a kickboxing studio, so I had bought these big, gigantic boxing gloves, and I would just wear them around at the event, and people are going to ask you questions, and then you just start chatting about your programs, your services. GM, that's guerrilla marketing. People often forget that being a small business gives you the power of acting like a small business. If you try and act too big, if you try and keep up or look like one of the corporate mammoths, the giants of our industry, you're going to have to act like them, and you're going to be cut out from the stuff that small businesses are able to do. For example, it's very hard for a corporate giant to do all these little itty-bitty guerrilla marketing tactics that we're going to talk about, but as a small business owner, you can do these every single day. So you have to remember that as a small business, you have that power to be a small business. So a couple ideas in the guerrilla marketing. Posters around town. Now, a lot of cities will have a bylaw. You're going to have to get a quick permit. Usually it's free, but you will have to tell them which poles you're going to do, what day you're going to put them up, what day you're going to take them down. A little bit more time intensive. We got flyers. I do not recommend putting flyers as an insert into the papers. Okay, that's big corporate stuff, and to be honest, it's not that effective. We're a small business. I used to do flyers. I used to have a goal of doing 200 to 500 every day. It varied depending on what year I was doing and my age. But when I was just starting off, I was doing 500 flyers a day every single day, and they were done by hand, delivered mailbox to mailbox, and they were delivered specifically between 4 and 6 p.m. And the reason is when I get home from work, I open my mailbox, and right in front of my trash can, I go junk, junk, junk. Oh, that's important. Junk, junk, junk. If you deliver with the paper or at the same time during the day with everybody else, when they get home, your stuff's going to go right in the junk. I like to go during dinner time because they've already gone through the mail, they've gone in the house, they're now sitting home. Now, you're sitting at the dinner table and you hear the mailbox clank. Now you're going to go there, there's one message, one thing to focus on. You're going to look at it and then decide if you want to trash it or keep it. Okay? When I'm going through the mail, when I get home from work, I'm not even deciding. If it doesn't look like my mail, it goes in the garbage. I don't even read the headline. So it doesn't matter how good your headline is. I'm not reading it. But when it comes by itself, you're going to say, what is this? It was hand-delivered to my house. Oh, cool. Whether you like it or not, doesn't matter, but at least you read the headline. Moving on. Stickers, put them on poles. You see them on the back of signs. Just be careful. There are bylaws. Snow brushes. This was a fun idea I did just for fun. Where I'm from, it snows. And one winter, I purchased a whole bunch of snow brushes with my logos on them. And then I went out. I felt like a thief a little bit. But I went out in the middle of the night when it had stormed. It had snowed a lot. And I spotted all over town, especially in more higher class neighborhoods, and as well as little ones. But I put my snow brush on the vehicle covered in snow. So when they wake up in the morning, I had waited until it stopped snowing. When they wake up in the morning, they look at the window, I got a shovel. Wait, is that a snow scraper? Somebody brought me a snow brush. And they get there and they have my logo on it, and I left a little message on I had a little card attached to it that said, we had some spare brushes, thought you could use one, and, enjoy the snow. Whatever the message said. Placemats. I had gone to, again, this was actually through the not-for-profit, but I had gone to my local university in the cafeteria, and they had agreed to let me put placemats on all the on all the trays for the dinner. So every student got a tray, and it had my placemat on it. Magnets around town, projector. That was a little cheesy idea we did. If you can't afford to be at an event, or if there's a festival going through your town, for example, maybe the Christmas festival, Santa Claus parade, and it's at night. We had a van, and we opened the side door, and we had a projector in there. And we found a spot. We went there early, picked our spot where we could project against a nice flat building at night, and we had our marketing message on that video projecting on the building. So it was like a huge billboard that played throughout the festival, and yet I didn't have to pay for that building spot. I was projecting light upon it. Moving on, Yellow Pages. People seem to think that Yellow Pages are dead, but the fact of the matter is they are still very, very useful. Now, it's changed a little bit. We've gotten tremendously, I was going to say lazy, but we'll just say busy. So when I'm looking in the Yellow Pages, I no longer read through the options. I open the Yellow Pages, whatever has the biggest ad, whichever pops up first, I grab. Okay? So, yeah, you're going to get your name in there for free, but I would spend a few bucks and get an ad that pops, stands out a little bit better. One more thing I did just for fun is when somebody's wearing a name tag, you almost always read it. So every now and then I would just wear a name tag when I would go in public, and it just says something goofy, and it said from Family Kickboxing. And people just read it and say, oh, cool, that's cool, and they would just read it. And there's something about it that just, pops. Another example, before I forget, are Post-it notes. When you see a Post-it note, you just read it. I don't know why. So I got a bunch of Post-it notes printed with my message already on them, and I went around town, like in the shopping center and stores and whatnot, and I stuck them at random places. So if you're walking in the shopping center, you see a store window, it's got a Post-it note on it, you're going to look and read what it says. Moving on. Your website. Your website, you might have the best website in the world, but if it does not have a way to capture leads, you're leaving money on the table. A weight loss challenge. I'm going to go into that I got a whole video on that, but you want to host a weight loss challenge. It could be free. That just brings new people in. Now, the way you usually do it is you have it free for people that have never been there before. And you 4, 6, 8 weeks, whatever you want, and you have a little prize at the end or whatnot. But the thing is you want to use this weight loss challenge as a great lead gen, and you want to really pump them up and make friends out of them before the challenge is over, so that when you promote your programs after, they're already willing to buy. Referral system, guys. If you do not have a referral system in place, you need to get one. The fact of the matter is you need something to happen early on as well. So when a client comes into your business, odds are a fair, maybe like 80% of their referrals are going to come in that first month or two that you're at your studio. I come in here for the first time. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if 50 or more % came in the first week or two. If I come in, I'm having a blast. My energy level, my excitement level for your business is at the highest degree that first couple weeks. That's when I'm most likely to bring in friends. So that's when you want to encourage referrals. Especially, if you're saying like somebody comes in, they had a great class, and you tell them, hey, I can show you how you get your membership for free. If you want to just bring a couple friends in, if you get 5 of them to come in, you can get free membership. So now they're thinking, hey, I love this, and I might not even have to pay for it. Joint ventures. If you do not like selling, now that's a whole touchy subject because selling is life. Everything we do, we're selling or being sold to. But if you don't like selling, joint ventures is the way to go. Now, I talked about being a small business. It's very hard for a big corporate giant to go to all these mom and pop shops, which occupy a large portion of your city, and try and team up with them. Because even the other mom and pop shops are a little scared of the corporate giants. But it's easy for you, another mom and pop shop, to go to them and say, hey, let's work a deal. I'll send my clients your way, you send them my way. This is your sales team. You may have 0 people selling for you, but if you've got 25 businesses all promoting your products, man, you are making a killing. Events, sporting events, stuff like that. In the summer season, all the fields are booked solid with soccer, football, all that kinds of stuff. I would just go around, walk around, give coupons out, place stuff on the windows. Birthday parties. If you run a children's group, have something exciting, make it unique, promote these birthday parties, and when all the kids come out, bring their friends, you sell them and you give them a free membership for 2 weeks, bring them in for trial, get them in the door. Car decals. If you've got a vehicle, you need to put some kind of sticker on there. You don't have to, but it's amazing. I've had to pull my window down at a stoplight and give my business card over the window. It's priceless. Chamber of Commerce. That is one that I recommend everybody supports their local city. But if you're going to do it, do it. What I mean by that is it's very easy to pay the 40, 50, whatever it is a month and never really utilize it. There's a lot of resources in your local chamber, but it's only worth it if you use them. Okay, so utilize the resources. Social media. This here's a big one. A lot of people are simply broadcasting on their Facebook, for example. Facebook is not a place to broadcast your products. Facebook is a place to communicate, to converse, to have fun, to be normal. Okay, it's a place to connect. It's a community. It is not a place to sell. So be fun, be entertaining, and chat about your clients. If you're promoting fitness, put pictures, motivational pictures, all that kind of good stuff. Don't go on there saying, like our page, we're the best. Okay, you want to keep it non-salesy. Lead boxes. These are a little bit pricier because you do want to have professional-looking lead boxes. But a lead box is simply a box that has your promotional material on it and a little pad, and they can write in their name or email for a free trial. And again, you put these throughout cities. Let's go here. Twitter responses. You can actually do searches on Twitter for your city and certain keywords. Okay, for example, let's say I'm targeting weight loss. I might search Toronto and then weight loss. And it's going to bring up everybody who has mentioned and what they said, Toronto and weight loss, in their comment or in their 140 characters. So what you can actually do is you can now reply directly to that person and say, let's just say they wrote, oh man, I need to lose weight. You can reply directly and say, hey, I'll help you out. Why don't you come out for a free 2 weeks? Great way to connect with people. And then last but not least, I got a huge list of this, guys. It's all we go over. It's all we have time for now, is cold calls. Now, I know everybody hates cold calling. I understand, but I've got a great way that you can do it without feeling like you're cold calling, and you can actually just hire a couple high school kids because it doesn't take talent for this. You're not going to be selling on the cold call. I use cold calling purely as a way to get my name out, and the way I did it is I would host a survey. It was a legitimate survey I was doing throughout the city. And I would say, they would call up and they would say, hi, we're doing a quick health survey. Do you have 3 seconds to answer 3 quick questions? And they'd say, sure. And then you ask them, and does anybody in your family work out? Yes, okay. How many times a week do they work out? Perfect. Would you be interested in trying something new like kickboxing? Or sorry, the way I would phrase it, as a little sneaky about it, is I would say, if you were to try something new, would you try? And I would give 2 options that to be honest, nobody would try, or the odd person would try, and maybe it's a little prejudice towards me in my part, but no big deal. And then I would give an option that sounds really fun. So I might say, would you be interested in trying football, soccer, or something cool like kickboxing? Okay, and I would word it in a way that the obvious answer I was pushed towards was kickboxing, and then I would say, great, thanks for your time. As a thank you, here's a 2 free week coupon. Somebody call the office, let them know you just did a survey, and they'll get you all set up, or whatnot. As simple as that. So moving on to topic number 2. So now we're going to talk about lead conversion. So you've done all your lead gen, and you got lots of clients coming in, you got them calling, you got them visiting your website, lots of traffic. Now we're going to show you how to convert them into paying clients. Now, one thing I want you to remember is if you do all these steps properly, there's actually very little selling involved. And I used to get asked all the time, well, what's your selling process? What steps do you go through? And I'd have to really think about it because I never really thought about it as selling. Because by the time my clients were done, their 2 free week trial, they were just like, where do I pay? Where do I sign? How do I, who do I write the check out to? I never had to sell anything. And it was amazing. I had almost an 80% conversion rate. Almost everybody who came in, they bought. And those who didn't buy, I would either keep getting at them later, or there was a legitimate reason. Like maybe there was, physically it wasn't a good fit. Or they, for whatever reason, they were leaving town or whatnot. The vast majority of my clients that came in, they bought, and here's how. Okay? This is just a couple quick options. We're going to go into more detail later on. But starting off, guys, you got to make sure that whatever you're bringing those prospects in, it's fun. Okay? The way I had mine designed was that the most convenient times, for example, mine, I found that after a couple tests, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. was the best time for my classes. So I gave that time slot to new people. Okay? Not to my regulars. My regulars can get a later time. I want that new blood to get the best possible time. So I had all my new prospects coming in to a free trial, which always ran Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Now, the goal in that free trial is to make those classes extremely fun. Okay, you want to be smiling, 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 laughing, giggling, and don't be shy. Laugh at yourself. I make spelling errors all the time. I trip, whatever. I just always laugh at myself, and it makes them know you're human, and it makes them smile too, and it makes them feel more comfortable. Now, I did things a little bit different than the standard martial arts kind of routine. When I lined up my class, we'd always just line up real quick, do a quick bow to introduce ourselves. None of the big fancy bowing. But I always made sure, for example, when we're doing line up for technical, I always put my beginners right in the back. Okay, now someone would say, well, they can't see you very well. That's the point. The point is for them to feel very comfortable and more or less hidden in the back and not right up front where they know everybody's got their eyes beaming on them. So I would say, okay, guys, line up real quick. We're going to show you guys how to do a couple cool punches. Beginners, if you want to go right in the back, you're going to feel very comfortable over there. Nobody's looking at you, and we're just here to have fun, and there's no pressure. Now, I would always make sure to stick an advanced student somewhere in front of them in the back. but I made them feel comfortable and to kind of hit out in the back. Now, there was some that wanted to be front row, and that's okay. But you'll see the vast majority, they were quite fine and quite comfortable. We're just hiding in the back. The goal in those couple classes is not to beat the crap out of them. Okay? I know some of my clients are raw fitness classes. Keep those for later. When you're in that free trial, make them have fun. Now, I get the odd person who will say, well, the prospect told me that he loves hard workouts. That's true, and I'm not saying it's not true. There's a lot of clients out there who want really hard workout, but I'm going to tell you something first. Let me see if I wrote it on there. No, I did not. Well, I wrote fun, close enough. But it's fun first, hard second. Okay, not the other way around. And what I mean by that is if a client comes in and they're having a blast, you can get away with murder. You can get away with making them do 10,000 squats, and they are gonna. And if they're laughing and smiling, they'll keep coming. But if you come in here and you say 10,000 squats, try and get them to smile after you make them do 10,000 squats. It's a challenge. It's an uphill battle. But if you get them laughing and smiling, they're gonna forget before. They're gonna come in there with a great attitude and they're gonna have a blast. Classes that are always hard, always raw and too hard, and they're not smiling and laughing, you'll find that the class attendance slowly dwindles, and they're never going to tell you, oh, class was too hard, because that would affect their pride. They're going to tell you, I got no money, I got school, I got work, the hours changed. They'll have a lot of really good excuses. But the fact of the matter is when you're having a really hard workout, and you don't have fun anymore, you don't have that smile, you're not laughing, you're not enjoying it quite as much, burnout comes in, and then before you know it, you just lost that drive to go back to class. And that's a real shame, because that's a prospect that with a little bit of tweaking from the coach could have stayed for years. So fun. Make it fun. Yes, you can beat the crap out of them later once they love you. Moving on. So free trial, beginner program. The reason I really push the beginner thing is somebody who's new, they're already nervous enough just having called you. I've been in those shoes where I moved to a new place. It's like, I want to go to that gym, but I'm a little nervous. Make it a beginner class. Tell them, hey, everybody in that class will be just like you. And, they may have never done this before. They might be a little overweight, blah, blah, blah. It's their first class today. The goal of the free trial is to convert them into a friend before the trial's over. Okay? You want to be able to say, hi, John. Hi, Susie. How's it going? Nice to see you. If you see them in the shopping center, hey, John, how are your legs feeling today? How was quite the workout the other day? You want to know everybody by name, and you want to have a blast. You got to have a good follow-up system. Okay, my clients, or my prospects I should say, got an email the very next day. They got a postcard in the mail before their 2 free week trial was even over. So you got to have a system to follow up with them, not only in the trial, but I had clients, all my clients, were on a system that they got something from me at least every 3 months, no matter whether they joined or not, till they, the addresses bounced back because they moved. A reward system, okay? A lot of the fitness places don't have traditional belts like karate or whatnot. That's okay, but you want to have some sort of a system that keeps them coming, but that gives them some pride, okay? Now, we use the belt system. We just made our own up. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be too fancy about this. We created a belt system for our kickboxing club, and we actually tried quite often to give belts out either in the trial before it was even done. Yeah, what's a belt cost you? $2? If they're going to buy an $80, $100 a month membership, that $2 is worth it. But even if it's not that too brutal, you just say, listen, you're very, very close. Man, you keep up, you keep increasing or improving the way you are in no time. In 2 weeks, you're going to have a belt. Amazing. If you don't have a belt system, little things like, let's just say you notice that they can only do 1 sit-up the first day, and a week later they do 10. Okay? And you just get your secretary, or you do it yourself, print a little gift certificate that says, congratulations, you did 10 push-ups, you're a star. Something fun like that. People like that. Results equals proof. They're going to keep coming. Whether it be results on them or social proof on the wall. You got pictures before and after. Now, not the standard holding a poster, holding a newspaper to say, having fun, having a picture of life, picture them in the club, picture them at home. Doesn't matter. Just don't keep it standard. It's kind of boring that way. And people right off the bat, they say, fake, Photoshop. But if it's a real picture of their house, their family, whatever, it's more believable. Now, for them, we gave 2 free weeks because we knew that they could probably lose 3 to 8 pounds before their 2 free week trial is over. And that's something they want to keep coming. And it doesn't have to be hard. You don't have to beat the crap out of them. The simplest workout for the average person, they're going to start losing weight right off the bat. Smile in, smile out. And all my staff, they knew the first thing I drilled into them was smile. Everybody has to smile. So, and I should have wrote name in, name out as well. The client comes in the door, the first thing you do, you give them a quick smile, and you say, hey, John, how's it going? And on their way out, you give them another smile, you say their name, and you reinforce this is a positive place, and they're going to have fun, and we're people that care. Number three options. Circle the middle one. So when it does come down to, these are our membership prices, you want to have 3 options. The cheapest one, the average one, and the expensive one. And you want the average one, whatever the one you want them to buy, you price it so that's the middle one. Okay? And when you're describing, you say, this is our entry level one, and this is our advanced one, and this is the one most people go with. And you circle that option, and you're going to see that 80% of your clients are going to go with that middle option. Now, if you want them to go for the higher option, it's very simple. You move that one down to the middle, and you give an even higher priced option at the top. And what's going to happen is the odd person will buy the higher priced option. Full. Okay, what I mean by that is if you do your lead gen properly, you're going to have leads coming in. You're going to have prospects all over the place. And by keeping the funnel really full, people come in. I had a class of 114 people. But people come in here, and they see all the people. They say, man, this place is busy. He doesn't need my business, but I want to be here. As if when a prospect comes in, they're like, man, I'm the only new guy that's 10 people here. Then it looks like you're starving. Please sign up, please sign up. But if your club is packed, everybody knows, man, this guy's doing something right, and they want to be part of that. They want to be part of that success. Last one, picture on the wall or on Facebook or whatnot. What I mean by that is, it's amazing the friendship you could build if you make that person feel like they're part of your family before they're even done their free trial. If possible, okay, I would try and get a picture of them and have that picture posted at the club all the time. My studio, and we're actually in the studio filming this right now, is packed from, top to bottom, side to side. All the walls are full of pictures. And they're just, some are blurry, and they're just everyday pictures. And if somebody could say, man, I've only been here for a week, but look at me and Susie, smiling, hugging the punching bag, and we're already picture on the wall. Or you throw a quick mention on Facebook, hey, John, you did awesome with those abs last night. And if you could tag them, that's awesome. It goes on their profile. If you start involving them as part of your family, you're going to find that the selling process is very, very easy. Now, with that being said, there are some more nitty-gritty selling tactics that we're going to go over later on. But I'm telling you guys, if you follow these steps and you create that friend, that family atmosphere, you won't have to sell. They're going to be finished your program, and they're going to be ready to sign up. Oh, one last thing. Make sure your program is good. If you've got a program that is subpar, soup it up. Make a few changes so you've got a program that people want. Moving on to the next topic. Great. So now we're going to talk about the sales multiplier. This is getting more money out of the client who's already paid for a certain program. So a prospect came in, you converted them, they bought a membership. Great. Now, if they bought, and I'm going to talk about memberships later on, maybe I'll give you guys copies of the files. But if they bought, let's just say, a 6-month prepaid membership, so they already paid 6 whole months up front. That means that you're not going to get any money from that person for 6 more months. That could be kind of hard, especially if you're not getting any more leads. For whatever reason, it slowed down. Now you're not getting any money. Now you got to work for the next 6 months for that client who's not going to pay you anymore. So I'm going to give you a few options to get more money out of that same person. Another reason you want to do this is if you don't increase your client base at all, but you increase the amount of sales each person you get from each person, you can increase your business 50, 100% just by increasing the amount of times they purchase from you. So they bought a regular membership. Let's just say it's 6 months. The next thing you want to do is any type of add-ons that you have. Now, you can do them at the point of sale or later on. I found both to be quite effective. The point of sale one, I found little purchases are better. Add this meal plan for $10 or blah, blah, blah. I found the little ones were good at the point of sale. I found the bigger add-ons worked on later on. So, for example, karate clubs often have a black belt club, right? You join this and you get certain privileges to get to your black belt. Whatever add-ons you want, you've got to incorporate some. If you don't have any, I'm going to get you a quick list later on of great add-ons you could add. My big moneymaker was specialty programs. It's amazing. Or you can call them seminars. I ran at least 3 specialty programs at any given moment, and they usually vary between 4 and 12 weeks long. 8's my average, so I was going to say 8 there, but I got some that were longer. But what I mean by that is this. I've got you signed up for 6 months. Okay, let's just say I got 400 people that pay me, and they're all paid for 6 months. I got no more cash coming in, but the club is full, but I have no cash. So I will put together a program, let's just call it a Dream Body program, and it would last, let's say, 8 weeks. Now, you'll find, it's amazing, but you'll find it's pretty easy to sell somebody a, say, $600 6-month membership or whatnot, whatever the case may be for your numbers. But it would be almost impossible to sell somebody a $400 8-week membership. You'll find that to be very challenging. $200 a month is quite expensive. But I can sell an 8-week specialty program for $400 every day. I do it all the time in my studio, and it works great. And the reason is, especially if you're really busy, if you've got a class of 100 people and it's quite cramped, you always limit your specialty programs. Listen, guys, I'm doing a Dream Body class. I'm very good at copy. I'm going to give you guys some examples of my newsletters in the program. But we've got, a huge list of benefits and how special this program is and how unique it is and how one-on-one it is. And we're gonna only allow 10 people into this program. Okay, it's going to be twice a week for 8 weeks, $400, only 10 people. And you see, guys, you'll fill this in all the time. Now, here's the thing. Never do the same program back to back. It's very easy to sell a program once. It's very challenging to sell the same program to the same person a second time. Even though they know how good it is, it's a mental thing. It's almost like, would you take the same course in college twice? Right? Some people have this attitude, well, I've already done it. I know what it is. I want the next thing. So what I would do is I did the Dream Body. And then I did the Ultimate Fitness. And then I did the, toning specialty. And I would just change the title of it. And I would rewrite the copy in a different way. I would tweak the focus a little bit. I would do a drill more specifically than I did in the other drill program. I would change it a little bit. But it's all the same stuff. It's all fitness, it's all exercise, it's all karate, it's all whatever you want it to be. Different name, different program completely. Always a different price. Always a different amount of people you accept. Just to create that uniqueness, and then you would sell it again, and then again, you do something different over and over and over. Another big one, like I touched on for specialty programs, are seminars. Okay, let's just say you're doing a karate, you're a martial artist. You might have a nunchuck seminar, you might have a bow staff seminar, you might have a tonfa seminar, whatever the case may be. You host seminars over and over and over, and this is all added profit. Another one, gear, gloves, uniform, fitness equipment. Let's just say you're always using punching bags. You might want to have someone in stock. Let's just say you're always using, Stairmaster, but let's just say you're using cricket shields, focus mitts, dumbbells. You can sell dumbbells, medicine balls, anything, guys. These are all add-ons you can sell. Now, not everybody's going to buy a medicine ball, but I bet you, 10% will. Plus tabs or positive tabs. We have a fridge here with water. Water's only $1 here. A case of 24 is like $2. But people are always like, I don't have any change. So what we started doing is offering positive tabs. We have a water board. It's a white marker board, and they would give the cashier or the secretary, they would give her $20, and they'd put her name or his name and write plus 20. And later on, they would take a bottle and write 19, 18, blah blah blah. And then that way they don't have to keep bringing $1 every time. Now what you're going to find happens is that $20 can last forever because now that it's on there, they barely ever use it. So it's a great way to stimulate a little bit more cash. Another big one that I use all the times is new shirts. This here was a new shirt we put together for the fighters, but we've had all kinds of new shirts. And I used to always just tease it on Facebook, take orders, and then order them. Okay? That way there, I didn't order stock that went south. And I've got you a few examples here. Now, they got to be fun, they got to be different, they got to be unique. So this is a compression style shirt, nice and comfortable. I got my supplier to print me up 3, 4, 5 different sizes. They tried them on, they ordered and paid ahead of time, and then I placed the order. Here's an example of just a simple jacket you can get done. It depends on the time of year you push them. Now, when I get the fun shirts, this is a plain uniform shirt, and on the back I wrote, "Real kickboxers have their own gear." And it was kind of a tease. Only my advanced were able to buy these shirts. but it was kind of a tease to the advanced that didn't have their own stuff yet. So if you have a hard time selling gear to some clients, and you have all the kind of requirement is you have to have your own gear for that. So now you see other people that have shirts that say real kickboxers have their own gear. It makes you want to go out and buy your own gear. Here's a fun one. It says, "Dear Burpees, F you, sincerely everyone." And of course, my logo on the back. Never ever sell a shirt that does not have your logo on it. A simple one, fight like a girl. A lot of people love that. I don't sweat, I glow. Again, logo on the back. So coming up with new stuff like that is a lot of fun. Even if you have a traditional martial arts studio where they all wear gis, maybe you can have iron-on, tags or whatnot, or even bags they can bring outside, T-shirts they can wear out of the club, toques, gloves, sweaters, umbrellas. It's limitless the amount of stuff you can get as an add-on. Even vitamins, supplements, soaps, cleanses. It's limitless, guys. So always make sure you're adding programs, adding stuff they could purchase above and beyond. And we're going to go more into details of that later on. So last one, number 4. Okay, so last but not least, we've got retention. So you created a buzz, you've got lots of clients coming in, you've converted them, they're now paying clients, and you've gotten more money out of them with increased sales and the sales multiplier effect. How do you keep them coming time and time and time again? Now, I do want to clear something up real quick. I don't believe that clients are going to stay with you forever. That's a naive thought, and I don't think that for a second. I do believe that you always have to have new blood coming in. New blood is the lifeblood of your business. But there's a lot of things you can put into practice and put into play right away that are going to keep some of the clients coming all the time. No, sorry. Number 1 is the rotating curriculum. Okay? Whether you call it a curriculum or a class plan or whatnot, have it different all the time. The number 1 thing I heard at my studio, even though all we did was kickboxing, and all they ever did was 4 basic punches, 4 basic kicks, there was a lot of other moves, but the basics were always the same. I always heard, I love it because the class is always different. Every class is different, and that's the key to keeping people coming. One of the reasons some studios some clients get bored with something and quit, or the reason they quit is simply because they're bored, I should say. When somebody gets bored, they're already looking around for the next thing to do. If they're bored, guys, they're out of there. So just remember, keep it fun, keep it rotating. It can be as simple as doing the exercise a different way. If you're doing a traditional karate workout and you're teaching them a traditional kata, well, what if you had them close their eyes and do it? What if you had them face a different way? What if you had them do it on one leg? I know Bruce Lee was a huge advocate of trying the basic standard stuff in every awkward position possible, so that if he was in a fighting situation, he'd be comfortable in that awkward position. So keep things fresh, keep it changing, keep it rotating. Special events is a huge one, okay? What's awesome about special events is it just tightens that family bond that you have with your clients. There's 2 types of events I usually do. One of them is in-house events, okay? Now, my in-house events are usually done where a certain percentage of my clients participate and the rest watch, okay? We did kickboxing, so we would have really fun in-house fight shows. Not like, raw, bleeding everywhere fight shows, but just fun fight shows. And then we would have everybody else watching, spectators. It'd be a lot of fun, and it'd be a little bit of a lead gen as well. An example of a free outside event is in the summer times, we would always have all kinds of hikes. So we would meet at the local Tim Hortons at Sunday morning at 9 a.m., and we would carpool to, Killarney or Manitoulin Island, and then we would go on a hike. And it would just take an hour or 2, and then we'd go home. And the thing about these events is it's non-salesy, okay? I own a fitness gym, a kickboxing studio, where I was a very huge advocate of health. But when we go on these hikes, guess what we did after the hike? We would stop at the ice cream place on the way home. We'd all get some ice cream. And we'd just sit down, a bunch of people that work out every day, eat ice cream. And that's just bond in the family. Now, not everybody's going to go, but those that go, man, they become friends and clients forever. Another big one is belts. If you've got some sort of a system, often the clients are maybe just on the verge of quitting, but they just hang in there for their next belt. And once they get that belt, they got to, re-energize, and they're just going to hang in for the next one and keep going. Don't make the belts 3 years apart. Okay? Instead of a 6-belt system that takes 10 years, why don't you add 15 belts? Doesn't really matter. Heck, in the in the catalogs, you can get, I forget which colors, but you can get army, you can get pink, you can get purple, you can get any kind of belt you really want. You can get 2-tone belts, you can get 3-tone, lots of belts, add them in there, and give us something. So, every 2 months they're getting a belt, they're getting something. Fake money. That's something I started doing in my kids' classes. We took an American bill. Now, my studio was in Canada, so we used an American bill, and we changed some stuff on it. We added a Muppets character. But I always told the students that I use an American bill so they don't even try to spend it somewhere. People are going to say, hey, what is that? And they're not even going to take it. But we had fake money, and we had a showcase, a little window, where it had all kinds of goodies and stuff for the kids, and they could buy it with that fake money. And it had a dollar for dollar value. So if something was $5 and they collected $5 worth of that fake money, they could spend it. There was ways to earn that fake money as well, from good grades at school. And actually, I just want to tell you a little story. If you're struggling to get into the kids' schools, one of the great ways to do it is we had a page that said for the kids grading, we want to make sure we really care about the students. We want to make sure they're doing their job at school. So they had a quick questionnaire. Are they doing their homework? Are they doing this? And they brought all this to their teachers. And at the bottom, it was very sneaky. It said, we understand that some kids might just fake this. So we would really appreciate it if you could put your email on there and your name. And we're only going to email you one time, just confirming that you are the teacher and you did fill in this form for little Johnny. And that way there, little Johnny can move up to his next belt. And then all the students brought it to the teachers, and you'd be amazed. It was almost 100% that brought it back with the email on it. And we would shoot a quick email. Wasn't salesy. It did talk about other stuff we did in schools, but it said, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we're glad that our system is helping the kids. And almost 100% of them replied with a very welcoming, I cannot believe you're taking such good care of our kids, and it's our future. And I got into a lot of schools that way, because then you become known. So anyways, I'm a little off track there. A little free tidbit. But the fake money, the kids loved it. We would give them during classes. Whoever did the most push-ups or won a little race or listened attentively, we just give this fake money all the time. And I got it printed on, I think they called it like cloth paper or something. Just the local Staples had it. And it was like a nice, feeling material paper type of thing. And it was cool. The kids loved it, and they would count their money, and they would collect this money. And they would tell their friends, of course. Mention family. If you're always mentioning the students, if you're always talking about them, you're posting it on Facebook, hey John, you're doing great in class. The more you mention, the more it bonds that family. And last but not least, we got follow-ups. You got to stay in touch with these people. Now, for us, if you missed more than 1 week, you got a postcard in the mail. It was a group shot of the club. There was maybe 100 people in the picture. I blacked out one of them, and it was for an event. So we were holding a fake check. I blanked out the check, and I wrote "We miss you" on the check. So I had 100 people with a blacked out person in the middle, so you couldn't see who it was, and it said "We miss you." And in the back of the card it said, "Hey, haven't seen you this week. We hope to see you soon." A lot of those postcards were wasted, right? Because a week is easy. Maybe they were just on holidays. Maybe they worked. But the fact that we sent them that card, man, they'd come in and say, "Oh, thanks for the card. I appreciate it. I was just sick." And a lot of them would just call in and say, "Hey, I'm not gone. I didn't quit. I'm just sick this week." So it really showed people that you cared. I've tried emails. I've tried phone calls. They're annoying. Postcards, they have some kind of meaning behind them that were really important. So stay in touch with your clients and know them by name and show them you care, and they're going to stay for years. Almost done. So how was that for an action-packed video? We tried to really put a lot of good, useful ideas in there, and I hope that you managed to take a few notes. Now remember, it doesn't matter how many ideas I give you. If you don't put them into action and actually apply them, they're really useless. We want to remind you that you do have to opt in to get the rest of the videos. And the reason is very simple. We respect your time, and we don't want to waste it by sending you emails to videos you're not interested in. Okay? These videos are going to cover lots of great content, and if you're interested in learning how to grow your business, we're here to help. The videos are going to cover, the very next one, 56 guerrilla marketing ideas. So I touched on a few earlier. In the very next video, I'll go over 56 ideas. It is a fairly long video, but I go into every topic, every idea, and I give a brief description, what it's about, and how to apply it right away. I'm going to teach you how to get out of the 3% and grasp that 100% of the market to really increase how many people respond to your ad. Guys, traditional ads are out the window. You need to change the way you market. You've got to change your headlines to meet today's demand. People get bombarded with marketing messages every day. You need to stand out. The NFT loophole. That's supposed to say NFP loophole. That's not-for-profit loophole. Now, I call it a loophole, but it's not a loophole. It's just an underutilized asset that people they're not seeing, and a lot of people don't even know about it. I touched on it a little bit earlier, but I feel like we feel that there's so much content there, we put a whole video just for it. So essentially, that's working with a not-for-profit organization to getting free shopping space booth, okay? A lot of times, a booth at a local mall is going to cost like $1,500 to $2,000, okay? $1,500 to $2,000. It's a fortune to go there for even just a day. We're going to show you how you can get it for free. And last but not least, print your own cash. I want to show you how I've made up to $50,000 in 1 hour with an amazing newsletter. Now, I'm going to give you a lot of good samples that you can just take and use for yourself, guys. If you're not gathering leads and sending out good content newsletters, you're leaving money on the table. One of the ways I forgot to mention earlier that you can increase the amount of sales, well, all of that extra sales, the sales multiplier effect, a lot of it is done through the newsletter. Now, like I mentioned, you can't just be sending out broadcasts. Broadcast newsletters are when there's something new, you tell everyone. Okay? For example, you change the schedule. You send a broadcast out. Hey guys, here's the new schedule. Well, what happens with broadcast newsletters is you might get 2,000 people on your newsletter list, but the only ones that are going to keep reading your newsletter are those that are still interested in your studio. Okay? So there might be a lot of people on there that have lost interest, and because you only send broadcast newsletters, they're going to stop reading. They're going to unsubscribe or they're going to delete. But if you keep sending content newsletters, and I'm going to tell you how, people that even are no longer interested in your product or your service, they might keep reading the newsletters because they're great content-loaded newsletters. They might talk about health, nutrition, fitness, things to do at home, how to stay active with your children, all types of stuff. And then what happens, and it happens all the time with my own list, is clients who may have no longer been interested, they get revival, they get some new interest after an article you just read about the importance of health in children. And they might think, you know what, he's right, I got to get back in there with my kids. And then you reignite a lost client just from sending good, useful newsletters. So anyhow, I've already taken up a lot of your time. Thank you very much for hanging out with me and going through this video with me. I hope you got a lot out of it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.